I will say something right now that will probably be quite controversial in the Black Clover fandom. That is that Gaja is one of the most underrated characters in the series when it comes to his power level. People think that because he's a spirit guardian, and that the other spirit guardians are dog water when it comes to power level, and because of his connection to them, people will downplay his power despite his feats. But in this video, I want to go over and accurately analyze Gaja's feats and scaling, and then answer the question if he could actually defeat Zagred, the word devil. There will be a lot to go over, so please stay tuned. I want to give a big shout out to Artote and his merch store. He has a lot of great Black Clover merch on the site, and if you buy stuff, it'll support mine and his webtoon coming out called 9 Fates. So, there are essentially multiple versions of Gaja and Black Clover. We have his pre-time skip power that takes place between chapters 225 and 228 in the manga. His mid-time skip powers, which is displayed in the anime canon. His post-time skip training, which allowed him to no-diff 50% Dark Disciples. And finally, his post-Dryad training power, where he not only gained ultimate magic, but also increased his base power levels. I will go over the feats from each of these versions of him to give you a measure of power, and then I will take his strongest power and compare that against Zagred. We will start with when we first see Gaja in the story. He's able to fight Stage 1 Noelle, who was aided by 2 Stage 3 support mages, and he was fighting them pretty easily at first until they kind of outplayed him in the end. But Gaja revealed he was only testing their power, so he was not going all out. This is where we get more information on the stage system, and the stage system itself tells us an implied power level for Gaja. Please check out my video on the downfall of Arcane Stage, and it will explain to you in depth about how strong each of the top 3 stages are in the system. But essentially, what it means to be Stage 0 is that you have the power to be able to fight well against a devil as strong as Zagred in a group fight. That would be for a baseline Stage 0, and Gaja is clearly well above that baseline level, so he is above being able to fight Zagred in a group fight. After this, we get some of the feats for mid-time skip Gaja, and he quite easily displays his amazing power. He fights against an Asta. Mind you, this is an Asta who had already been training a lot since the end of the Elf arc, as he did some training and learned an anti-mana skin, and also had already spent some time training with Gaja before this fight. Yet, even when Asta would activate his black form too, Black Divider, while for a split second Asta got the upper hand, Gaja was just toying with him, and when he used a bit more of his power, he was able to easily dodge attacks and toy with Black Divider Asta, and just one-shot him with a strike of lightning. Just think about that. Gaja, while suppressed, one-shot a Black Divider Asta that was far stronger than the Asta that fought against Zagred. Zagred could never do much damage against Asta once he got to his higher power levels, so that is just displaying how strong Gaja is. Then, post-time skip Gaja would show his power by easily defeating a 50% Dark Disciple, which the disciples were already Stage 0 in base form, and then activated Devil Mana on top of that. Even in the Dark Disciple's strongest power of Exploding Life, Gaja still effortlessly countered it. Remember that while everybody countered the disciples' Exploding Life, they were unconscious and transported to Elysia, whereas Gaja wasn't there, which is an implication that he easily countered the disciples' Exploding Life that he fought, which puts him at least on a same level to Valkyrie Noelle, if not stronger. Remember that once Valkyrie Noelle fought Vannaka by herself, Noelle was breaking her limits, as the Undine was no longer helping her. Undine was cursed, and Lolopechka was also out, so she was not getting any more help in this fight, as she partially dodges attacks from 70% Vannaka, and even damages her. If pre-time skip Vannaka was already stated to be stronger than Zagred, and then got way stronger over the time skip as stated by Dante, and if Gaja is stronger than this Noelle, then that makes Gaja's power very impressive compared to Zagred. But Gaja's most impressive feat is after he spends a few days training with the elves and the tree god Dryad. Even before he uses his ultimate magic, we were revealed that his power got way stronger. He was fighting essentially on par with curse-controlled Lolopechka, who was relative to 100% Vannaka, as the two of them fought together in tandem against Briar Queen Charlotte and Rill. It is actually stated that curse-controlled Lolopechka is far stronger than she was with the Spirit Undine, and she can now even use attack spells. Gaja negates her attacks and is fast enough to fight her despite holding back his own power because he's in love with her. Lolo then gets even stronger as she gets turned into a devil, and Gaja was still able to negate her massive devil water attack, was fast enough to rush her, but his downfall, yet again, he didn't want to kill his love, which led to him being impaled by the Devil Queen. Yet, he still shows relative feats to a character who should at least be on par with 100% Vannaka, But the true power of Gaja is displayed when he activates his ultimate magic spell, Apocrypha Ostraza. It would have killed Megicula if not for her curse recovery spell. So, I've gone over some of the brief power displays that we have of Gaja. But would he be able to defeat Zagred with what he's displayed? And I think the answer was already pretty much answered in the context of his feats. Let's go over Gaja's attack power, and would that be strong enough to damage Zagred? Would he be durable enough to take hits from Zagred? And could he actually kill Zagred and destroy his heart? And would he be fast enough as well? So for attack power, it's pretty obvious that Gaja could damage Zagred pretty heavily, even without his ultimate magic. Let's remember that Black Divider Asta was a beast in the Elf arc. He gave Zagred troubles. If you look at any of the time that Zagred actually hit Asta with spells, they didn't do anything. His word magic, which produces both magical and physical effects, didn't do much to Asta at all, even when he was spamming for Asta to die and be damaged. Yet Gaja, while not even using much of his power, will one-shots an even stronger Black Divider Asta. Later on, his spells can negate Devil Lilipetchka's Devil Water spells and can stun her, and she scales to or above 100% Vonica, and as I already mentioned in many videos in the past and this video, 50% pre-Timesync Vonica was already stronger than Zagred. 70% post-Timesync Vonica would be far stronger than that Zagred. Yet Devil Lilipetchka is comparable to 100% Vonica, which means that even Gaja's regular attacks would completely mess up Zagred, let alone his ultimate magic attack, as Gaja's ultimate magic would absolutely obliterate Zagred. We need to remember that just because Gaja used this spell and died, or nearly died, doesn't mean he will always die. He just added his life energy into it. He should be able to actually use this spell without sacrificing any life, and it would be by far his strongest spell. But he really wouldn't even need it if he could already heavily damage Zagred already with basic lightning spells. But now I'll talk about Gaja's actual ability to kill Zagred, not just damage him. Many people assume that Gaja cannot kill him because he is not Arcane or Saint Stage. But it's not even relevant to Gaja anyways, as for one, there's already plenty of evidence that you don't need to be Arcane or Saint Stage to kill devils, as Gaja said he was going to kill Megicula even though he knew about the Arcane system, and even Megicula implies that she would have died if not for her recovery spell. When you include the statement from the Dryad, you see what she says, that you can kill lower level devils with high attack power, but she says for mid-level devils and higher, that's an issue. But then right after the statement, Luck goes ahead and kills mid-devils with ultimate magic, which at the very least is an implication that if you are not Arcane or Saint Stage, ultimate magic can bypass that and kill devils mid-level and above. This makes sense power-wise in the series, as well as the lore of the series, with the elves being in possession of the demon-killing swords and their own technique that is innate to their race is ultimate magic, that it makes sense that they could actually kill devils with it. Power is cool and all, but would Gaja even be fast enough to hit Zagred or dodge his attacks? Well, that answer is also yes. He was able to toy with the speed of Black Divider Asta, even though he was doing it suppressed. Zagred already struggled with the weaker Black Divider Asta's speed, and thus Gaja shows a clear speed advantage over Zagred just in the mid-time skip power levels, meaning that his attacks would land and he could dodge attacks from Zagred as well. As for durability, Gaja can use arrays to defend himself. These should be at the same level of power as his attacks, and that is supported when he can use them to neg Devil Lilipetchka's attacks. This means that Gaja has the advantage in attack, power, speed, and durability, and has the ability to kill devils with ultimate magic. Another very important aspect of this battle, and an important aspect of Spirit Guardians as a whole, is that they essentially have infinite stamina thanks to their use of true magic, which harnesses nature's energy, nature's mana. Essentially, Gaja says that when he fights, he can bring in more and more energy that's nearly infinite, and that as long as he doesn't get hit, we'll have infinite stamina. And as I've already proved, Gaja is way faster than Zagred. If he somehow managed to land a hit, it would just get hit by his array anyways, so therefore, Gaja would not really lose stamina in a fight against Zagred. And also, Gaja could use the infinite stamina to win in another way, even if you want to argue that he is not Arcane, or ultimate magic cannot kill him, even though the series pretty much shows otherwise. He can use binding magic that most mages have, and bind Zagred. Under standard battle assumptions on the Versus Battle Wiki, if you can restrain your opponent for 24 hours, you win. And if Gaja can restrain Zagred, which he would be able to because he's stronger than him, then he would win because he would have infinite stamina, and thus restrain him for 24 hours. So in conclusion, yes, Gaja would actually defeat Zagred if the two fought, and also, if it was the current version of Gaja, the strongest version, it wouldn't even be a close battle. But let me know your thoughts on this video down below. leave a like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Plus...